Hi there, my name is Angela Drake and I am the director and instructor here at the Veterans Clinic at the University of Missouri School of Law. And in the clinic we have students who help veterans with their disability claims with the Veterans Administration. We are this year doing our second annual symposium because the clinic's fairly new. Last year we did a symposium about post-traumatic stress and military sexual trauma. And during the course of our work we've realized how significant traumatic brain injury is in especially our returning troops from Afghanistan and Iraq. The body armor has gotten so much better over time that in older periods of war, for example Vietnam, a lot of those service members would not have survived the injuries. But now with the better body armor, soldiers and other military service members are surviving incidents that otherwise would not have been survivable, and a lot of the disability that we see arises from traumatic brain injury. We also realize that there's a big overlap between what we see in the military and what our NFL players experience and what has been the subject of the concussion litigation in the National Football League. So this year's symposium is going to discuss both traumatic brain injury with respect to our nation's military and with respect to the NFL. So it's going to be very, very interesting. The symposium is on Veterans Day, which this year is Wednesday, November 11th, and it will be right here in Hulston Hall in room 7, which is our biggest classroom. We're anticipating a really good crowd, and we've solved the parking problem. We're going to have shuttle service between the Hearns parking lot and Hulston Hall rotating, so nobody needs to worry about where they're going to park. Go park at Hearns. They're going to suspend the enforcement that day. Nobody will get a ticket. Look for the signs for the shuttle service and we'll get you over to the law school. But from the football side, we have Marvin Washington, who is a former NFL player. He was on the Super Bowl winning Denver Bronco team. He has also played for the New York Jets. He has a rich background in the actual mechanics of being on the football field. So it'll be very interesting to hear from him. As Marvin Washington is going to speak about what it's like to be on the field as a real NFL player, Michael Sam's going to talk about what it's like to be on the field both as a collegiate or high school collegiate athlete and also in the NFL. And we also have Paul Anderson, who's a lawyer from Kansas City who's very involved in some pending cases against NFL teams. That panel will be moderated by Justin Trueblood, who is one of our third-year students and also the president of the Mizzou Law Sports Society. In addition to that, we have Rex Sharp, who's with sports medicine here at MU. So we've got the sports world really well covered. We will be presenting a panel of veterans, including one of our current clients named Alex Proct. And Alex served honorably our nation for a long time, most recently in Afghanistan. And he was driving a Humvee in a convoy, and his Humvee hit an IED, an explosive device, and it caused the Humvee to go 30 feet in the air. And Alex's best friend who he had enlisted with, Alex was driving, was in the passenger seat beside him. His gunner was in the back. And as a result of the IED explosion, Alex's friend died 4 hours later when they were en route to the hospital in Germany. And the gunner in the back, sadly, was decapitated at the scene. Alex suffered a broken back and traumatic brain injury. And he has the courage to share all of this with us and to explain what it was like to go through that, and then also what it's like to live with traumatic brain injury now. Alex is going to be joined by Sean Lee, one of our former students who also has extensive military history. He was in the 101st Airborne. He served in Afghanistan as well. And Sean will share his experiences. They will be moderated by Dr. Eric Hart, who is a licensed psychologist with MU and has done a lot of work in this area. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Susan Okie. She is a graduate of Harvard Medical School, but she spent much of her professional life working for the Washington Post, actually under Bob Woodward, and she has written extensively about traumatic brain injury in the war zone specifically. At the end of the day, with the symposium, we're offering a free 3-hour CLE It's a call to action to local attorneys, but it's going to be very good for law students as well. And the reason we're doing that is because, sadly, every week we decline veterans. I think we've declined 20 veterans since August 22nd. We just don't have the capacity in the clinic to handle the need that is out there. And it's heartbreaking when we have to tell a veteran that we can't help them. So one of the things we've talked about in the clinic is we need to get area lawyers involved in helping veterans. And the biggest hurdle to that happening is the training component, because veterans benefits law is its own animal and its own beast. So for that reason, we are offering lunch, thanks to a very kind donor, thank you Gilmore and Bell, free lunch, probably from Chipotle, for those lawyers and law students who can stay for the free 3-hour CLE that will sort of be the ABCs of how you do a veterans claim. Everything you need to know to help a veteran right now. We really hope that everybody will come to our second annual symposium on Veterans Day, Wednesday, November 11th, 2015, room 7, Hulston Hall, shuttle service available from Hearns, free lunch for lawyers and law students if you stay for the 3-hour CLE in the afternoon.